Welcome to the Power of Your Mind podcast. I'm Victoria Gallagher, your host, and I'm here to inspire you to tap into the incredible power of your mind by helping you to understand the law of attraction, manifestation, hypnosis, affirmations, meditations, and other powerful tools, all designed to rewire your mindset and propel you toward success. Each week, we discuss proven strategies and approaches to empower you to manifest your dreams and achieve your highest potential. So, tune in each and every week to get inspired and discover how to unlock the power of your mind. You are listening to episode number 322. We're having a debate today on law of attraction versus law of assumption. Before we begin, just a quick reminder to subscribe to the Power of Your Mind podcast on your favorite platform so that you never miss an episode. Every episode is another opportunity for you to get inspired and transform your life. If you're getting value out of listening to the Power of Your Mind podcast, you can support our podcast by leaving us a review, sharing the podcast with someone who could use a little inspiration, or by simply downloading and subscribing to my Believe Hypnosis app. Now, if you are new to the show or new to me, let me introduce myself. Again, I'm Victoria Gallagher. I'm the Law of Attraction hypnotist, author of Practical Law of Attraction. And as you can see back there, several other books, many, and a few more on the way. I'm actually in the middle of writing 4 books right now. I am a hypnotherapist for the past 25 years. I'm a digital creator, course creator, inspirational speaker, and an entrepreneur, among other things. And I specialize in helping people, especially business people, use the power of their minds to manifest success through practical strategies, including the law of attraction and other laws, which we're going to get into today. And I am the creator of the Believe Hypnosis app, which, sorry, gives you access to over 1,000 hypnosis sessions. It's all designed to help you to make powerful changes in your life using hypnotherapy and manifestation techniques. I am on a mission to help millions of people manifest their dreams by making hypnotherapy available to anyone. So, will you help me? Will you help me make that dream a reality? Be sure you download the Believe Hypnosis app and share it with everyone. Post something on Facebook. Tell me how much tell your friends how much it means to you and what you got out of it and what is your favorite session. This app gives you all kinds of meditations, affirmations, all designed to help you to achieve your goals and your desires. Now, let's get into today's episode, the law of attraction versus the law of assumption. I don't know if you've ever heard of the law of assumption. Some of you have, some of you haven't, but if you search YouTube, TikTok, all the places, you'll learn about this other law, lesser known, called the law of assumption. So, which one is better? The law of attraction or the law of assumption? Have you ever wondered which one might work better for you? Does the law of attractions focus on positive thinking, align more with your long-term goals, or does the immediacy of the law of assumptions act as if principle feel more impactful? And that's basically, in a nutshell, the law of assumption. It really is, embodying and acting as if, but we're going to get into that a little bit more. So, how can each of these methods work together to transform your life? Which one would be better for you? We're going to unpack these powerful tools and we're going to explore which one might be the better key for you to unlock your unlimited potential. So, just a quick overview on the law of attraction before we get into law of assumption. Just if you're new to the show and you haven't heard me talk about it before, what is this law of attraction? What am I talking about? Really, it's about attracting good things into your life by focusing your thoughts, your feelings on what you want. Think of it kind of like a magnet that, whatever you think about, you attract. And it goes much deeper than that. It's not as simple as you just attract things, to you just by thinking about them. There is a process involved of, really aligning your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your behaviors, your actions, all of that in such a way that it is in alignment with whatever it is that you desire. So, how do you use the law of attraction? First, you define your goal, you get clear and specific about what it is that you want to attract, you visualize success, you spend some time imagining your life after achieving the goal, you feel the joy, you see the details, you stay positive, you keep your thoughts upbeat, and you expect good things. And this positivity tends to attract more positivity. So that's essentially how the law of attraction works. What is law of assumption? What law of assumption involves more like acting as if you have already achieved your goal. It's about embodying what you want to have and who you want to become. And so, how do you use the law of assumption? To use the law of assumption, you assume the role. You assume that you're already living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is coined by Neville Goddard, who wrote a bunch of books about this. I'm not going to go into all the details, just look them up, Neville Goddard. But that's where that's where this term law of assumption originated from. So assume the role. Begin to think and act as if your goal is already accomplished. How would you carry yourself? What decisions would you make if you were already that person who had that thing? And you align your actions with your goal. You start to integrate your behaviors and your actions into your daily routine that reflect your new reality. Again, you're just completely acting as if, and you believe in the reality. You fully commit yourself to the belief that the assumed reality, the role that you're assuming, is already true. You're just living in that space as if it is already true. And that is what helps you manifest it into your life. So, when would you use, like, is there one time when one tool works better than another? Typically, when you're looking at more long-term goals. So, law of attraction, in a nutshell, law of attraction is a little bit more of a longer term approach versus law of assumption is a little bit more short term, but it's a little bit more of an advanced approach, law of assumption. Law of attraction is a little bit more of a beginner approach. So you use the law of attraction when your goals in terms some sort of long-term development, attracting a certain amount of wealth, improving your health, building a meaningful relationship. The law of attraction tends to work best when you are needing to create a positive mindset and use the practice of visualization and affirmation. For example, if you are in a career and you want to advance yourself into a higher level in that career, or you want to change careers, if you're looking for something kind of, gradual in the future and you're aiming for that gradual progression in your career, you would use the law of attraction to help you to attract opportunities by maintaining your vision on your career path. Okay. You would also use law of attraction for personal development, for goals like wanting to just become a more compassionate person, wanting to become more spiritual, more mindful, whatever it is. This law supports more gradual internal changes, internal shifts through consistent practice and thought refinement, through refining and retraining your thoughts to think in a different way. Then there's the law of assumption. A law of assumption is more effective for immediate needs. When you would turn to the law of assumption when you need to see quick changes and you're prepared to fully embrace and fully embody the desired state. That means essentially you think from the person who is already in that place that you want to be. You completely embody that all day long, not ever having any kind of consideration for the reality that you're physically sitting in. And this is much, much more difficult and challenging to maintain that. And it works faster. If you act as if you've already achieved whatever it is that you are aiming for. And this can lead to much, much faster transformation in your reality. So, an example of that, let's say you are ready right now to get into a new position and you're looking for that to happen now. You start embodying that role of that position right now. You take on the responsibilities. You demonstrate you are that person. My husband actually had been using this in his work. He has been aiming for a specific role, and he's been acting as if he is that person. And guess what? It has been working. And so that is just one example of how you would embody that is by taking on that extra responsibility, take on that position of leadership. Just be that person, be bold, be brave, be courageous, like literally put yourself into that role. Don't fake it. Don't try to pretend to be that, be it. And this is also useful when you're trying to manifest a particular opportunity. If you want a certain opportunity, like being selected, for a project or getting a new client, you just begin to operate as if it is a certainty and you adjust your actions for how you would be behaving. You adjust your actions, you think from that person, you decide from that person, and you just act. I mean, there's only so many ways you can say it. It is really embodying the feeling, embodying the belief, and being. It is a being. And so now you can combine both laws to work together. You could start with a lot of assumption to really begin to be that person and initiate some immediate changes. And then you kind of sustain that with creating the thoughts that you need to maintain that. And, eventually, it all really goes to the same place, right? It all ultimately goes to trick the subconscious mind into aligning things up with the reality that you are either thinking about, visualizing. But law of attraction is a little bit more future based, future oriented. Law of assumption is a little bit more present based. So say you're starting a new business. All right, you assume the role of a successful entrepreneur by making the important decisions, by networking as if your business is already thriving. Just act as if. It's not like you're telling a lie. You allow yourself to step into that. You just step into that energy and walk around and literally just see the world through the filter of the person who's already there. Simultaneously, you would use the law of attraction to continue to maintain positive thinking and, attracting long-term clients and projects for the future. And so here's just a kind of a practical example. Like, just say that you're a coach or a hypnotherapist and you want to grow your hypnotherapy or your coaching practice. So we'll take Jane. Okay, Jane is a hypnotherapist who wants to expand her practice by doubling her client base and increase her income. So these are the steps that she would take. The first thing is that she would, for law of attraction. So this is how she would apply and approach it from a law of attraction standpoint. First, she would define a specific goal. Think about, goal is out there on a timeline. So she sets a clear, measurable goal to double her client sessions from 10 sessions a week to 20 sessions a week and increase her monthly income by double in the next year. Okay. Then she uses visualization every morning. She spends time visualizing her calendar filled with back-to-back clients and appointments. Throughout the day, she practices her affirmations. I am a trusted hypnotherapist. I am attracting clients who greatly benefit from my experience. I attract clients who are willing to pay premium rates for my sessions. Okay. So these are the things that she tells herself, these are the things that she sees. And then she just uses very, consistent focus every single day. She consistently focuses on the success of her sessions and the well-being of her clients, believing that her positive energy, her positive thoughts, positive beliefs, all of that is going to line up with and attract more clients who are a good fit for her practice. And this works. This approach absolutely works. It works time and time again. You can find all kinds of proof. I use it in my own life. I train other people to use it in their life. Over time, Jane sees an increase in her client referrals or online reviews, and that all of that boosts her visibility and attracts more clients into her practice. Now, that's one approach that she could take. Now let's put Jane into the law of assumption category. So Jane is going to practice this other technique called the law of assumption. This is because she wants to see this happen like more immediate, that she has more immediate needs and she's an advanced student and she knows she has complete control over her mindset, her emotions, and her feelings, and her vibration. She can step into this role and be that person. And so she uses the same goal. She wants to see that immediate change in her practice. Here are the steps that she would apply. Just see this side by side. The step one, instead of defining her goal out there on the horizon as something that she's getting ready to go out and achieve, instead of that, she just assumes it like it's now. This is happening now. And she begins right away to act as if her practice is already seeing double the amount of clients. She updates her office environment to accommodate more clients comfortably and efficiently. Whatever it is that, whatever changes would happen in that environment, in the schedule, she just does that. She schedules her days just like she already has 20 clients a week. She allocates those time slots. She prepares the session materials for those clients in advance. She's calling it in a different way because she is that person who already has that. She has changed her behavior already. She's not waiting for this to happen to change her behavior. She's already a confident, seasoned hypnotherapist whose schedule is fully booked, who's raising her consultation fees already to reflect the increase in demand for her experience. And she believes in the outcome. She fully embraces the belief that every consultation call converts into a regular client. And she handles these interactions with a sense of knowing and assurance that her practice is thriving. And this works too. The outcome is that by having this proactive approach and this confidence, that can quickly shift your reality. This preparedness, this new pricing structure, this attracts clients who value her expertise and are willing to invest into her services. And you can also combine both laws when you're doing this. So let's just imagine Jane uses the law of assumption to initiate this embodiment and the initial changes and adjusting her behavior and adjusting her mindset as if she's already achieved her goals. And at the same time, she continues to sustain these changes and builds this long-term success through using the law of attraction to maintain a constant flow of high-quality clients and stable income. Okay, continuing to use the affirmations, continuing to visualize. See, with law of attraction, you use a lot of visualization and affirmations and goal setting and, belief change work and all of that. With law of assumption, you're already there. You're not visualizing so much. You're like seeing the reality like in this exact moment, like a holograph, like everything in your life almost becomes like a holograph of your new scene. That's all you see. You just only see the new reality that you've stepped into, and that is how you create it. And so you can use both, and you can choose one if one feels more comfortable for you. Um, like the law of attraction. The law of attraction, I think, is a little bit more, a beginner approach, and that's totally fine. You can stay there and you can continue to work there and you continue to get results. And it's a slower process. If you can understand why it would be a slower process, is because the energy is different. The energy with law of attraction is different from the energy with law of assumption. With law of assumption, it's not about like necessarily like, um trying to have all these, it's not about trying to create something that isn't already there. It's not about, with law of attraction, that's about trying to create something that's not already there. It's trying to attract something to you, to attract something from the outside in. And with the law of assumption, it's more like an inside out approach. You are already that thing. You're already that being. You're already that person. So I want to go over a few differences, just really side by side. The concept. So the concept, law of attraction, is about focusing on and attracting what you think and feel, whereas law of assumption is acting as if your desired outcomes are already true. The emphasis with law of attraction is on thinking and feeling. The emphasis on law of assumption is on beliefs and taking actions. It's all about the action taking, but doing that from a place of 100% belief. Not like I'm trying to get myself to believe something, but I do believe it already. The techniques that you use for law of attraction are typically visualizing, affirming. With law of assumption, it's behavior. It's changing how you behave. And it is a mental state adjustment. You're in a new state of mind. The time frames for the results with law of attraction, it's a little slower. It builds momentum over time. And it's a little bit more sustainable. It's easier to do. With actually, I was going to get into the difficulty level in a second. With law of assumption, it's quicker, and it depends on your level of belief. And again, this is something that might be a little harder for some people to wrap their mind around. Difficulty level, it's much easier for beginners and there's a gradual learning curve and you get better over time the more consistent you are. You will ultimately change your mindset. You will ultimately change your vibration and your feeling. But with the law of assumption, it requires a strong belief system already. And so it's harder for some people initially. So I don't recommend it for the person who has not had any experience with the law of attraction. I almost like look at maybe the law of attraction is the base, a starting ground, and the law of assumption would be something that once you've had some success with the law of attraction, you understand how it works, and you want to elevate and you want to get to the next level quicker, start using the law of assumption. Okay. The mental load. So with law of attraction, it's moderate. You're maintaining this constant feeling of positivity. The mental load with the law of assumption is high. You're constantly reinforcing the belief in this assumed state. Are you gonna like get out of it and get out of that reality and step out and like, whoa, it's not that way. You got to get right back in. You got to get right back in, and you got to constantly stay there. Daily practice. So with law of attraction, regular daily practice for mental and emotional conditioning. That's the practice is daily mental and emotionally uh, connecting with the desired reality. With law of assumption, it's daily acting, it's daily decision making, it's daily being in the as if state. What kind of goals is the law of attraction or the law of assumption ideal for? The law of attraction is more ideal for longer term goals and lifestyle changes. The law of assumption is more for specific immediate goals or changes. The visualization needed, it's definitely highly dependent on visualization. Law of attraction is more dependent on your visualization skills. Law of assumption isn't about visualizing as much as it is about taking action. Risk of delusionment. Okay. So the law of attraction, there's a lower risk that you're going to get disillusioned, that you're going to give up, that you're going to, um, throw in the towel and say, this doesn't work. You can keep going. You can keep going because you're seeing changes happening gradually. With law of assumption, there's a much higher risk of disillusionment because if the immediate changes don't immediately occur, it's not as sustainable for you to keep embodying, and acting as if and acting as if and act if things, month after month, they're not changing, then you're going to probably have a little bit of a harder time with that. All right. So easy or hard, definitely law of attraction is easier to start with. Law of assumption requires more of a commitment. It requires more of a mental discipline. Success rate with both of them are pretty high. Just depending on you, are you able to be consistent with this? And it's high with consistent practice. With the law of attraction, it's high if you can maintain and genuinely hold the belief and continually take the action, continually be in that as if state. All right. So these are just a few of the comparisons. There's many more. But let me just go a little bit more into some obstacles and some challenging and some tips for success. So, to maintain belief, that is the biggest challenge that you are going to face when it comes to anything, really. It can be challenging to stay confident in a process, especially if the results don't manifest as quickly as you want them to. Doubts can creep in, and that can dismantle the whole manifestation process. So, what can you do? And this is if you're on the law of attraction side of things. Continue to practice your affirmations and your visualizations regularly. Just keep reinforcing the belief in your goals. This, might be just, taking time each day to schedule in time to visualize, time to affirm. Another tip for dealing with the maintaining the belief, the challenges there is keeping a journal of all of the successes and the signs and things that are happening, just to help you, to remind you that, things are moving. The other thing that is similar to the beliefs is just dealing with the doubts that can undermine the effectiveness of both the law of attraction and the law of assumption by sending you mixed signals. So what can you do when you are faced with these doubts? Mindfulness and meditation, these practices can really help you to be aware of those doubts. Like, you're not going to, if you have doubts, you're not going to just be able to wish them away. You're not going to be able to just, pretend like they don't exist. They're there. And what you have to learn how to do is acknowledge them, observe the doubts without getting attached to them. Just because a thought is there, which is what a doubt, all it is a thought. Okay. It doesn't mean that just because you are aware that a doubt or a thought exists in your mind, it does not mean that you have to go into, it doesn't mean you have to go down that path. You can just let it go by, and you can, allow yourself to address the doubt without feeling the doubt. You can think the doubt and see and know that it's there, but you don't have to go down that path. And you can get more information about how these laws work. That can help you so much by going onto YouTube and watching success stories and reading about other people who have succeeded with both the law of attraction and the law of assumption. Listen to podcasts, go to seminars, get more information, get yourself into some kind of a manifesting course that actually walks you step by step through the process. Like, I've only been talking about this for half hour or so, and you're learning, but you're learning this right now at a very surface level. I'm just giving you information. It's one thing to know something, actually to learn something, and it's another thing to know something. So once you actually start to go through this process, then you're going to know it. And you have to stay committed. That's the biggest challenge that anybody has, is throwing in the towel on things way too early, especially for their long-term goals. Staying committed, staying consistent, applying these laws, it can be difficult, but and it's really easy for people just to revert back to their old behaviors because they're there. Subconscious mind doesn't like to change, remember? So if something is the way that it is, and it has been that way for a very long time, there's a reason for that. And because the subconscious mind feels safe to stay there, it's trying to protect you. But you know what you want, and it is about ultimately getting your subconscious mind. It's yours, it's your mind, it's your life. getting it on board with what it is that you want to change. And, the best thing that you can do is really just set a routine. Write down a routine that you plan to work on daily, a checkbox, set reminders on your phone. Start the day with a visualization and end with gratitude. Get an accountability partner, having somebody, a mentor, a coach, an accountability group, a partner. These are things that can really help you to stay on track and check in with each other. And that can help keep you motivated and keep you committed to your practice. So, what do you do when things are slow and when changes aren't immediately happening? That can be so discouraging, and that can lead to the skepticism about the ineffectiveness. You have to practice persistence and patience, understanding that manifestation is not always instantaneous. That can help you to maintain your focus and your persistence. You have to remind yourself that every single positive thought, every single positive action is moving you one step closer to your goals. And if progress is consistently slow, you might want to consider hiring a coach to help you to understand. Maybe there are some thoughts. Sometimes it's just good to get another set of eyeballs on what you're doing and how you're thinking. And, maybe you just need a little bit of a tweak to the goals that you have or the techniques that you're using. A very, very slight technique in your approach can yield significantly better results. And then you also want to balance your expectations because there's a fine line between believing in a positive outcome, believing that it's happening, and becoming attached, way too attached to the way that that outcome must unfold. And that can create resistance. If it doesn't look like it's happening, sometimes it's because it's not going to necessarily happen the way you have it built up in your mind that it's supposed to come about. And you could be just looking in the wrong direction for how this is going to happen. You want to focus more of your attention on the overall outcome that you want, whether that's through law of attraction and focusing on it sort of as a goal or focusing on it like just being in that outcome now, whatever it is, it's the outcome. It's not the how, okay? It's the why and it's the outcome. And you also need to be flexible about all the different ways that it might manifest because that's really, if you think about almost any goal that's ever been achieved by anyone, it's not always a straight line on how they go about achieving that. Sometimes there's detours along the way and things that happen that make it seem like things are slowing down. But sometimes, if you let go of the resistance and allow yourself just to be guided by the universe, you will find that sometimes those things that look like it's slowing you down can actually be speeding it up. And I know that's hard to wrap your mind around, but it's happened to me so many times in my life where I thought that something was falling apart when actually it was just something that was necessary in order for things to get that much better and build that much more of a solid foundation and the real path to manifesting the success that I wanted. And so just know that going into this, that you have to be flexible and also take some time to celebrate. Celebrate all your small wins by recognizing and celebrating all the small achievements. You're going to stay motivated. You're going to be aware of the progress that you are making, even if it's not exactly how you envisioned it right this very moment, you have taken steps toward it. You have to remember that. And as you address these challenges with practical, consistent strategies, you are effectively using either law of attraction or law of assumption or both to manifest your dreams, manifest your goals. And so, which one do you feel is going to work for you? I'd love to hear your comments about this. I'd love for you to experiment and try both methods. Maybe you use one in one aspect of your life because it's easier to wrap your mind around. With law of assumption, you can act this particular way in this area of life. Maybe in another area of your life, it's a little harder to wrap your mind around it. So you have to start with, baby steps, and law of attraction is a little bit more like baby steps. And then, just observe which one feels right for you, which one feels more natural, which one feels more effective. I just love to hear your results and how you feel about this. Remember, you have the power. Either way you go, you have the power to shape your reality, to change your life by using the law of attraction and or using the law of assumption. You are not just waiting around for the good things to happen. You are actively creating the life you want. So embrace the journey. Every step is is a success. Every single success. Just stay committed, stay flexible, celebrate every victory. Celebrating these small moments is going to, help you to reinforce your belief. And it really comes down to that. It is really a belief in your ability to make your dreams a reality. And you do have that. So as we close out today's episode of the Power of Your Mind podcast, I just want to remind you once again to subscribe to the Power of Your Mind podcast on your favorite platform so that you never miss out on our inspiration, our empowerment. And if you found value in today's conversation, please take a moment, leave us a review. Your feedback not only supports my work, but it also helps other people to discover how they can change their life. So don't forget also to please download the Believe Hypnosis app. You're going to get access to over 1,000 hypnotherapy and meditation sessions that are going to help you in your journey towards success. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep believing in yourself. Keep believing in the power to change your life. Once again, I'm Victoria Gallagher. I'm the Law of Attraction hypnotist. And until next time, keep exploring the power of your mind and happy manifesting. Bye for now.